Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Blue Ribbon Lounge podcast.
Welcome deep beneath the crust of Moline, Illinois.
The delicious sauced up crust of these United States.
Yes, made with the blessed basil of Lopez Pizza.
In 15 million years, when the asteroid is hit, turn this whole world to dust. These are the things that will remain.
These will be the archives
of humanity.
Yes, the Blue Ribbon Lounge podcast.
I'm Matt Nicky.
And I'm Dave.
And we're going to be the ones to inform the future of what it was like in 2022.
Yes. Right now, some alien race is listening to a grainy copy of Blurp.
Blurp. What is this?
Burlurp?
Burlp.
Blurp.
Burlp. Yep. Dave, I don't know if I had talked to you truly about last episode. Last episode being the 1 year episode.
Yes.
It was not bad until the very end, and then I was literally dying.
Yeah, you had to just peace out. All right, I'm done. And walked away.
I did not know things could be so hot.
Yeah, what we were getting into.
Yeah, it was, and the last wing, it didn't start out hot, but it slowly crept up.
Yeah, I think they throw you off. You're like chewing. You're like, this is good. You swallow, and you're like, I can handle hot. And then it just boom, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah. But it was fun. Hoping to get the video up. Check Blue Ribbon Lounge, blueribbonlounge.com. Check that for the video. I'm working on YouTube. I don't have the highest hopes, but if it's not up in one of those two spots, then I failed miserably, and that's okay.
But we'll at least have the audio.
Yeah, and we can always chop it down and maybe put it on Facebook even.
Yeah, do some clips or something.
Yeah, Blue Ribbon Lounge podcast Facebook group. I think we'll post it there pretty much primarily. Maybe we'll share it. I don't know. But those people deserve it first. For
real, because they looked us up on the Facebook and joined.
They did the work.
Yes. Get in there now, because my thinking is once we get to like a certain number, we'll make it private, and then you'll have to be invited.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's how that works.
You may not get in.
Yeah. The bouncer will close the rope.
Yeah. You'll have to answer questions about us.
Yes.
You'll have to ask me... You'll have to answer what was me and Dave's first car.
Oh, hey, there's a good one.
What was Matt or Dave's first car? It's going to be one of the questions when we reach 15 people. We'll close it. That's not a realistic goal for us.
Yes, we can reach that, I think. And like by this time next year.
Yeah. If we exponentially double.
Yes, if we keep the same growth.
Yeah, it was a fun episode, and they're all fun episodes, though.
Yeah.
I need to go back and listen to them again. How many episodes have you repeat listened to?
I go back. I don't know. Most of them, just because if I have a law like at work and I can't find something, I'll just throw one on.
Throw on old reliable.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? If you do that, write down some good audio clips, and I'll try to make little shorts for like posting on social medias.
Oh, yeah.
If you think of that. I'll try to think of it too. I really need to re-listen to them. I'm so bad about like re-reviewing my work, no matter what it is across the board.
Yeah. Well, I'll listen to it when it comes out.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I always want to
listen to it when I edit it.
Yeah, and I'm like the second pair of ears. I'll listen to it when it comes out and be like, hey, you forgot audio in the beginning
You
of that
forgot
one.
all of this.
Yes, there's nothing there.
And that's okay if you haven't figured it out. Low budget.
Yes. Working class.
Working class, that's for sure. We actually, I think, of all the podcasts that I listen to, I think we got some of the best audio.
Yeah, we have a pretty decent setup.
I think so.
It's comparable to other ones I listen to.
Yeah, we don't have like an NPR type status, but...
No, but I've listened to some like D&D podcasts.
Yeah.
Or like ones where people try to do a podcast of them playing D&D and maybe they'll only have one mic in the middle of the table.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, and it's hard to hear everybody.
Did we start out doing that? One
mic?
microphone?
No.
Okay. Because I had done that a few times in the past. I just did one microphone when I recorded, me and my friends, or I did a couple of times I did one microphone for a room full of people. And that was just like kind of learning how to set things up.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I can set stuff up. I know how to record it. I'm getting better at editing.
Yeah.
And then the producing, publishing type stuff is what I'm working on right now.
Yeah. No, I think that D&D episode was well edited, and so was that Spooktacular.
The Spooktacular I had a lot of good time. I
Yeah.
had a really good time with. I did just get, and I'll show you maybe after the pod if I remember, I got a mixer to hopefully introduce more sound clips, like in a live sort of sense, so that we can hear them and react.
Right.
Normally I have to put them in afterwards, so you don't even know what I'm doing.
In post, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I have to listen to it when it comes out.
Yeah. To see how I butcher. I am Dave, and I like butts. edit it to make you say a bunch
pretty
of
much. Most of the stuff I say is not what I say.
I don't know if you remember the first couple of episodes, but before we really had like a decent chemistry, I guess is what I would call it.
Yeah.
You could maybe call it like a format, but not really.
Repertoire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the first couple episodes, boy, I just hacked and slashed and really made those work, but they sound pretty good. So
Yeah. Because, I mean, when you got a lot of notes or uhs and ums, or if you're like, you kind of can chop that out.
yeah. So do you think after listening to yourself talk, do you think you've gotten better over the year? There was an
Yeah. Well, some ums are okay. I
Yeah.
think the long extended, like the pregnant ums, where like they're gonna give out to baby ums. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's easy to do.
Yeah. Well, also when you think and you're like, oh, I got to put this in a articulate manner.
Yeah.
It's better mostly just like being closer to the mic and maybe trying to review my notes at least once before I get here, so I'm not like just trying to flip real quick to find something.
I think you need to start typing them up during lunch or something at work.
I like my little notebook though,
I know you do, Dave.
and I can read my handwriting.
Well, that's not literally not what you've said on the podcast a few times.
Well, when sometimes for spelling.
Spelling.
Yeah.
But hey, whatever works for you, buddy. I'm just glad to be here with you.
Oh, I'm glad here to be with you.
So what have you been out doing today? Lately, not today.
We did a little bit of gardening.
Oh, okay. I did some of that too.
Yeah, we just planted tomatoes and cucumbers and peppers in a little spot in the backyard.
Excellent.
Kind of just seeing if we can do it. We tried to do from seeds, and we failed at that. So then I just had to go buy little cheaters.
Okay.
And get it started.
Seeds are tough. You got to start them way early, I feel like.
Yeah. I think Easter is what I heard.
Oh, when did you start yours?
After that. Like when we did the whole bucket potato thing.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, seeds have to start way before that because the potatoes were already like spuds in and got roots and stuff growing out of them.
Did you just bury the whole potato or?
I think we cut them in half.
Okay.
And yeah, but we had a couple of them that we got when we were in North Carolina from Cam. Shout out. Always.
Number 1 fan.
Yep.
Number 2 fan right after Dave.
Yep. I'm my own biggest fan. And those are starting to pop up. But I guess when they pop through, you're supposed to bury them and let them pop through.
Again?
Yeah, but I'm not sure how many times you're supposed to do that.
Or do you mean just like put a little bit more dirt on it?
Yeah, like it'll pop out green and then you put a little more dirt and then let it pop out and then a little more.
Okay.
So
it'll be fine.
I'm sure. I mean,
worst case scenario, your family starves to death.
I know. Potato famine.
Potato famine. Yeah, I did a bunch of the same thing. I didn't do the majority of I did a lot of the digging and the lifting. And then my wife and mother-in-law did a lot of the put it here, and then the putting and burying.
Yeah, so you did more like flowers and such.
Yeah, mostly hostas and succulents. We had a big garden, one big garden that we started to disassemble and move around the whole yard
Okay.
because we're gonna put a above ground pool
Ooh.
in that spot. And then so we broke up a bunch of the hostas and succulents, and there, I don't know, daylilies. These are all words that I've heard in the past couple of days.
Yeah.
And and then my mother-in-law is also trying to put a garden at the bottom of my hill. So
I saw that.
yeah, and I'm moving around all the statues. I think what we're gonna do with that bottom garden is we have a Buddha statue and like a Japanese praying man looking guy, and then a Jesus. And I think we're gonna make it like an equality garden.
Oh, okay.
Garden of equality.
Very cool. Coexist.
Coexistence garden. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I got on a big kick of spray paint and stuff. So I spray painted the Buddha gold and the Japanese man silver, and spray painted a bunch of trellises and stuff from wood to. We used Plasti Dip because we just had like 25 cans of spray paint, so we're just trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, might as well go to town.
Yeah, for sure.
It should donate them to some kid you see downtown.
Oh, the spray cans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we should start tagging Burtle.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, instead of putting stickers around, I'll just start doing the whole blue ribbon.
Yeah. To go with the BRLP, got new stickers dropping if they haven't already.
Yeah.
So we don't know when we'll get that into the Abernathy's shop for you guys to buy, but they should definitely be on Facebook by now if you haven't already seen them.
Oh, are you going to put those up?
Or should I put them up after this episode or after the 1 year? What do you think, Dave? Tell me what you think.
After the 1 year.
After the 1 year,
Because we got a little teaser out there already.
Yeah.
If you go to the Facebook group and then kind of scroll down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about these. Dave came up with the idea, then I drew them up,
Yeah.
and then a third party is printing them because homemade stickers suck.
Yeah, that would suck.
They're like all papery and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think as soon as we get them, we should put them up because I feel like those are going to be the hotcakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll make sure to keep a couple of back for us.
Of course. For my next notebook.
Cool.
Yeah. Did you go out and about or just gardening?
Yeah, mostly just gardened. I did hit up Midwest Monster Fest halfway to Halloween.
Ooh, yeah.
And I wish I had the flyer here, Dave. There's did you play Magic the Gathering as a kid?
No.
Oh, okay.
I know
never
about
mind.
it, though. I've heard of it.
Well, there was a guy my wife was talking about. Have you played Munchkin?
No.
My wife was talking about a guy next to her. By the time I got there, a lot of people were closed up and stuff. I mostly just went to help the wife pack up. And his game was like a mix between Magic and Munchkin, and it was all about like creating a serial killer or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I haven't looked it up yet, and maybe I'll do that and give a shout out next episode or something. It really intrigued me. It sounded like a game that I could get my wife to actually play once in a while.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Have you heard of the Hunter Killer game?
Hunter Killer, yeah.
Hunter Killer, yeah.
A gal at work has done one of those. She said she really liked it.
Oh, because I thought about, because it seems like it's a subscription.
I think you can do either.
You can just get one.
Yeah, you can get like a 1 day thing, or you can get the subscription.
Okay, I would just want one to, because it seems like that escape room kind of that I did.
Yeah.
That it's all on paper.
Yeah.
And then you gotta solve it.
Yeah, maybe that'll be our next 1 year. We'll try to solve a
cold case.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll put a little timer in the corner.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to break that one up.
Well, yeah, that's why
like-
why I would put the timer in the corner.
Yeah, because it's like that first 48 show.
Yeah.
Just be like the first hour
Yeah.
or what 24. We'll just put the hour.
Yeah, 24.
Put the timer in the corner.
But yeah, that's a long ways off anyway. So
Right, that's a whole nother year.
yeah, that was mostly all I did.
Yeah. We went out to, I want to call it Tantra, Asian
Tantra
fusion,
is a place, yeah.
over on 53rd.
Mm-hmm.
Really good food. I
Okay.
would recommend. I had their pan ang.
Pang Ang?
Curry?
That might have been a little racist. I don't know.
I think that's what it's called. Panang curry
Okay.
is good. A little spicy, but more like, I don't know. It's got a weird like coconut, peanut kind of flavor to it.
My wife would really like that. She's really into coconut.
Yeah, it was delicious. I even
Was it like chicken or
I put chicken on it.
Yeah.
It comes base and then you can add
chicken, beef,
chicken,
or
shrimp, I think. Yeah.
That sounds good.
I got the chicken. Yeah, that was good. But on the other side of that, I would not recommend Applebee's. I went there with the old lady, and I had like the rib cutlets or the riblets.
Riblets. Okay.
And
That's just a very American fucking Applebee's thing to do. Let's take ribs and make them smaller.
yeah, and then cut them so that you have slivers of bone instead of just like one big bone. Because I'd be like trying to cut it, and I'm like, okay, where's the bone end? There it is. And then I have to like just suck the meat off the little like look almost like
Suck the meat off.
See, that's why we can't be famous, because then they can clip that up and just like throw it on the internet and be like,
I'm just gonna clip that off myself.
oh,
I'll
those
get
guys
ahead
at
of
the
the
Blue
curve.
Ribbon Lounge. But my old lady got a steak there, and she got sick.
Oh God, that kind of serves you right for going to Applebee's.
Yeah, especially at like 11 o'clock at night.
Oh yeah, they were like, let's make this girl sick because we're about to close.
Well, they close at 1.
Oh really?
So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. That's why we went there, because there were other places, but I'm like, okay, this place closes at 10. They close at 11. It was like 10. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, well, let's go to the one place that's open. No, not again.
Yeah,
I don't think
that's a tough one.
I mean, and it's pretty generic restaurant.
It is not. It's a place that you can skip.
It's like Chili's or TGI Fridays.
Yeah,
You know, it's all those
100%.
places where it's like,
You can get a burger. You can get a fancy salad
yeah, pretty much.
or a steak.
Or an expensive drink.
Yeah, right.
But actually, that wasn't too bad, because they had like $5 whatever kind of fruity drink
Ooh,
the old lady got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fruity drinks are good.
Yeah, and it was actually cool. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but she got one and she's like, this isn't very alcohol-y. And so the next one, she was like, can I get like an extra shot or something in here? And the guy's like, well, a shot would probably be like $7, but I can charge you for 2 of these, but just give you the liquor that we put in, so then you could pour it in yourself.
Damn.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. But then, yeah, she got a weird bite of steak, and then she was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I bet having a bunch of booze in your stomach didn't help either.
well, I mean, it wasn't a lot. I didn't
Yeah.
want to like blame it on the booze, but yeah, because
But I mean, I'm just saying, like, bad meat
right,
will make everything just like doubled.
exactly.
Yeah.
I could see that, and I think she was at least glad that the fruity was there for when we got home,
Yeah,
because then
for
it was
expulsion.
yeah, because we were like halfway home, and she's like, "Can you go a little faster?" It's like, yes,
Your old lady got a steak. That's a good woman.
yeah. Well, and then it wasn't my fault, but she was looking at the bourbon chicken shrimp, and she's like, but I'm like, well, they have this like porterhouse prime whatever porterhouse shrimp thing. She's like, oh, maybe I'll get that. But she like scraped all the stuff off of it and then flipped it over, and it was gray.
Oof.
So it definitely wasn't cooked properly.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
Well, that's,
So yeah, skip Applebee's.
yeah, for sure, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I did was hang around here, and I was outside most of the time, so I've been really slacking on editing the last podcast.
It's been nice.
Yeah,
Once that heat got past,
yeah, for sure.
I was driving in today, and I'm like, I wonder if we can eat outside tonight.
Ooh, we ate outside last night and had a fire.
Ooh,
It was great.
that's awesome.
Yeah, bunch of mosquito repellent though.
Yeah, you need that.
Yeah,
The bugs are kind of bad.
that's okay. Meat and potatoes?
Yeah,
Let's do it. Let's do the big deal.
big deal.
I was going to do another trigger warning just because I don't know if we're going to talk about anything weird.
Oh,
Might
well,
be some slight sexual content.
okay. I always think, though, if you read the title before you click it, I mean, unless you're like one of those fans of the Blue Ribbon Lounge podcast and you just get all the content, stick it in your ear hole.
Yeah. And I don't know if did we not curse very much at the beginning of this episode?
I don't think so. Not this time.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so you becoming professional.
Yeah, super. And we're like kind of guising it, and we're talking about like not sex, but like romance stuff.
Romance stuff.
And we didn't use any bad words.
No.
Nice.
Yeah.
A little undercover.
Wait, when did we talk about romance stuff?
Well, that's what the thing is going to be about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, So the original title was going to be Girls Ghosted by Ghosts.
Yes.
And we'll see what it comes out to be.
That's a lot.
Sometimes I change it.
Girls Ghosted by Ghosts. GGBG.
GGBG. Give her the old GGBG.
Ghosted by Ghosts. Yeah.
But we'll see what it comes out to be.
Okay. Or you can call it Spectrophilia.
Spectrophilia.
Yes, which is sexual attraction to ghosts or sexual arousal from images in mirrors.
Mirrors?
Yeah.
Like, because it's like not a corporeal image? Or it's not a corporeal thing?
Yeah, because it's not like you're a narcissist and you want to like put a mirror above your bed. But like, okay, I don't like Frank, but hey, Frank's image, hey,
okay.
you know, I think it's the fantasy of not being other than human kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's definitely leans, to me it seemed like it leans towards almost like asexual type thing. And somebody was talking about demisexual.
Demisexual.
Yeah, where it's like you're not really attracted to people, you're attracted to personalities.
Oh, okay.
That's what it seemed like to me. I didn't look that up. But from what one of the people in my notes said, that's what it sounded like.
Okay. I've also heard that it's exophilia, like a subcategory of exophilia.
Okay.
Which is quote, fetishism whose object is the sexuality of extraterrestrial, like aliens or other non-humans.
Okay.
So things, it could also mean like robots or ghosts.
Ooh, robots.
Or
there was a sex toy I saw one time, and it was like a big dildo, and you make these gelatin eggs, and the dildo is like shaped like an alien wiener, and you like inject yourself with these eggs.
weird.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a word for it.
Yeah.
And there's equipment for it. So it's like me connecting these dots of like two weird things that I don't get, and like now I'm like, maybe there's a market for it, I guess.
Well, I mean, what's his name?
Gerberger.
Del Toro, but not
Emilio Del Toro.
No. Guillermo. It's a weird name.
Oh,
Guillermo Del Toro. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I just couldn't.
We got it.
Roll my R's or whatever.
That's why we're a fucking team, Dave.
Fuck yeah.
Don't you ever forget it.
All right. But Shape of Water.
Yes.
That's kind of.
Wasn't that like a super popular movie?
It won Best Picture or something. It won awards.
Wow.
But that was about a lady that
fell in love with a sea creature, a swamp thing.
Swamp thing.
A creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, so that could be exophilia.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I kind of wanted to focus on this spectrophilia.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, because I've heard a couple stories about these ladies who were kind of ghosted by ghosts, I guess.
And I couldn't find a lot of stuff. I probably found a lot of the same stuff that you had found, or, you know, the stuff that is more spectrophilia, but I found a lot of like sexual ghost encounters
Okay.
is some of the stuff I found.
Well, before we get too ahead, it's actually sexual ghosts encounters have been around since the 14th century.
14th.
Yes, but back then they were succubus or incubus.
Incubus.
Yeah, like the band.
Yeah.
They're out there like, what's that song? Make yourself. You know that song?
I think I only know the intro was like wham 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 wham.
Yeah, that one. But that was actually like people that thought they were having intercourse with demons.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, and I had heard that like so the demon would take the form of a human to seduce people for nefarious purposes.
oh yeah,
And such as taking the seed of one human and implanting it into another to create evil witches and sorcerers.
because yes, if I was in the 14th century and my milkmaid got pregnant, but the kid looks like me, I would tell my wife, like, oh, I told you that succubus was here the other night. She must have took my seed and put it in her to break up our awesome marriage.
Yeah, that I'm super happy in.
Yes.
Yeah, that's definitely what I would assume was going on.
Probably. And since they're demons, maybe it was clergymen. They use that excuse.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're trying to frame me, those hell demons.
Yeah, and if you assume that they're evil, then it's easier to get rid of them and weird stuff with like that. Like,
Yeah.
people were crazy back then.
They still are.
Well, you're not wrong.
It's the same. Because 200 years from now, and they look back and they're like, do you know that women used to have sex with sea creatures?
What?
We just talked about The Shape of Water.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. Weird stuff.
Yeah. But it's not super uncommon because there's a Natasha Balsic she's an actor that was in Paranormal Activity 2.
Okay.
And she claims to have had sex with a ghost.
Oh.
And she said it was pressure and warmth, confusing, then really, really pleasurable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I don't know if, seeing how she's connected to Paranormal Activity 2, which I don't remember if in any of those movies there's like sexual encounters with ghosts.
I don't believe so. It's all just like a demon.
Yeah, but it still seems like a publicity thing to like go on some news channel or some like TMZ and say that you got, had sex with a ghost.
Yeah.
To promote your ghost movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we're gonna talk about, let's go back before that.
Okay.
So, I guess I didn't look up when this was, and I think it may still actually happen. But in China, there's this thing called the Ming-Hun. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Or spirit marriage or ghost marriage.
Okay.
Is that something you found?
And the Western version is called posthumous marriage.
Oh, okay.
And that's also the word like or maybe posthumous. It's also like people can get medals after they die. Like, so if they're like a Vietnam vet that died in the line of duty, but he saved like 50 people, they can like posthumously.
Humorous.
I think that's how it is. posthumous. Posthumous, posthumous.
Oh, okay.
Like,
For some reason, I heard post-humorous
Kinda.
things about a vet.
no, but they can like give it to him after he's dead.
Yeah, okay.
And so a posthumous marriage is well, what's your thing?
So mine is kind of similar in that a marriage. So the Ming-Hun spirit marriage is a marriage where one or both parties are deceased. If the couple was engaged, but one dies, they can still go through with it.
Okay, well that's kind of neat for like insurance kind of thing.
I could see that. So China being what it is, there were certain situations where if a man were to die, a woman can still choose to be wed to his deceased spirit. If the bride chooses to marry the man, she will then immediately have to attend a strict funeral ritual, and then take a vow of celibacy and take up residence with the family, the groom's family.
That seems like a trade-off. Like, okay, you can still marry him because you guys were engaged, which means she would inherit some of his stuff, but you have to stay celibate and live with his family.
Yeah.
Which is what she would have done if they would have got married, I believe.
Well, I mean, she'd be at least be able to bang him.
Oh, right. But I mean, if he died, if they got married and then 2 days later he died,
Yeah.
it would kind of be the same thing.
Yeah. So there were also situations where like unmarried people, women and men with no descendants, would be married off, so that once you die in China, your family and descendants get a spirit tablet, and it's a totem, generally has your name on it, and it's something that your descendants will pray to, I don't know, give you strength in the afterlife or something like that.
Okay.
And then, so if you die with no descendants, you'll get married into a family, and so that some people will have descendants to prey upon their totems.
That sounds pretty cool. That reminds me of that little hut place in Mulan.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. I think people are worth remembering, I think.
Yeah, well, that's cool because that's word for word what the posthumous marriage is. And it says it's practiced in China and Japan and Sudan, France, and even in the United States, the Church of Latter-day Saints practice that.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's kind of like what you said. If you're engaged or something and there's a car accident, you can they'll still wed you to your deceased, fiance.
Yeah. And something to say about the succubus and incubus thing. So a creature that is generally evil that seduces people. They actually had that in a lot of different cultures as well. So in Arabia, they had the jinn. Greeks had satyrs. The Hindu had bahoots. Samoan people had patuporu. And then the Celtics had duchi. But yeah, it's interesting how I always find it interesting how a lot of religions are similar, even though people were not as connected as they are now.
Yeah. I think it's also the human condition and
to create answers for things.
Yeah. And if you're separated, but yet you still have the same, like if you have acid reflux over here, then you're like, oh, that's a lava monster. And then over here you have acid reflux and you're like, oh, that's leprechaun.
Yeah.
Just a
Is leprechaun an acid reflux thing?
no, but I'm just saying, I'm just using,
I didn't know.
I'm just saying that's like a correlation or like I don't know.
Yeah. I get you.
An example.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk about more celebrities, or you want to go into some more of your stories?
I have one other celebrity, Kesha.
Kesha, okay.
Yeah, or K cash sign ha. In 2012, she announced that she made out with a ghost.
Ooh.
Yeah, she said, I don't know his name. He was a ghost. I'm very open to it. And I guess that her song Supernatural was about her encounter with this sexy ghost.
Yeah. I saw a interview with Conan O'Brien and Kesha.
Yeah.
And it talked about that a little bit. I didn't have it in my notes. I just have her name written down.
Oh,
And
okay.
I didn't finish that up. Whoops.
Well, that was I don't know if it's the Spectrophilia or the Exophilia, but I heard like Lady Gaga and Anna Nicole Smith.
Anna Nicole Smith did have something going on. She told Him magazine that in a former apartment in Texas, and this must have been before she made it big, maybe. She would think it was her boyfriend, and he continued to say no, that it wasn't her. But so she figures a ghost would climb up her leg and have sex with her, and it happened like almost every night.
How small was her boyfriend? He just climbs up her leg.
And that was like the verbiage that I heard. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, maybe a ghost slides a incorporeal hand up your leg or something like that.
Yeah. Maybe. Well, because she was kind of a spacey lady,
Yeah.
at least from what her persona was.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, and any of these could be described as something else. Yeah.
yeah. I guess so. I have kind of something at the end, I guess.
Okay. Let's do like two more celebrities.
You got two more?
Yeah, just because it's fun. In 1999, Lucy Liu revealed to Us Weekly that during the shooting of Charlie's Angels, the movie, she was taking a nap on a futon and some sort of spirit entity came down and made love to her.
Oh.
Sweet, passionate ghost love. She described this experience as sheer bliss. She felt everything, and after reaching climax, the entity just floated away.
It's disappeared.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That sounds like all positives to me.
Yeah. It's
I
like
mean-
a one-night stand without any awkwardness.
Yeah.
Or having to buy drinks.
Yeah. And then the last one I have here is Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah. And Dan Aykroyd had said this on Joe Rogan, so that a lot of people might know this from that. But I believe he said it to Esquire originally. But a ghost was in bed with Dan. He was in bed. Dan was in bed. He felt the pressure of a person lay down next to him, and felt a shape and saw the depression in the mattress. And he was living in his house at the time, which was Mama Cass's old house.
All right.
I believe she was a musician.
Yeah, it's from the Mama and the Papas.
Yeah.
Urban legend, she choked on a ham sandwich.
In like London or something.
Maybe, yeah.
So this being Mama Cass's old house, he said that there were other spiritual things happening, I believe, in this house. So his thoughts are that it could have been Mama Cass, even though she did die in London, or at a party at the house, there was a man who OD'd, and other partygoers took his body off the property. So he thinks it could have been one of the two of them. And in this all kind of tied up with in California, they require realtors to disclose a clause as to if there are any unusual activities within the house.
Oh, so not just if there's a death, but if there's been weird shit going
Death,
on.
murder, ghostly activities, stuff like that. I don't know the law to say exactly what it covers, but that's what he implied is things that can't easily be explained.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say Dan Aykroyd because that's an example in the first Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
I think he,
It's a beach ski.
yeah, from a ghost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little Slimer mouth job.
Yeah. No. He slimed me. There was another movie, I want to say,
Ghost.
Ghost is one that also came up.
What about Casper?
Do they get
Well,
busy in Casper?
PG-13 kiss on that, I think.
Oh, at the end,
Maybe PG. I don't know if it was 13 or not.
Yeah.
I think there's a kiss at the end.
But I think it was 1980s. I didn't write down that date, but a movie called Entity, or The Entity.
Entity. I heard about that.
That was supposedly based on the story of about a single mom that said stuff started happening around the house, just like, you know, like things moving and stuff like that. And then one day she was getting out of the shower, and she said it felt like there were like 3 entities there, and 2 of them grabbed her and another one went to town.
Dang.
Yeah, and she had like bruises and stuff, and
Whoa.
it happened another time, and she got the psychology department of Yale
Okay.
to come check it out, and they sent a guy from their extra
Sure.
whatever,
Paranormal
division, I guess, that they had.
division.
Well, yeah, and then they went and took pictures, and they have one picture that because they said a ball of light entered the room while they were all there.
Whoa.
And yeah, they were trying to get it to answer questions, but then when they went to take a picture of it, it like took off.
Oh.
So all they have is this streak of light. But how it is in the picture, if you look at the wall, you can see the corner, but on the streak of light, it doesn't bend. So it wasn't like a light reflected on the wall. So it had to have been in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
And they also have Polaroids where they would take a picture, and then the lady would be like, he's in the corner. And they would take a picture, and it would just be all whited out,
Whoa.
like overexposed. And then she's like, it's over there. And they took a picture, and that one came out overexposed. And then she was like, it's right in front of my face. And they took a picture, and it was everything except like her face. But then that part was kind of like overexposed. And then they took like another picture of her after they said it was gone, and it came out fine.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't like the roll of film.
Yeah, it wasn't bad film.
Yeah, supposedly. But they made a movie based on that. And the movie gets a little silly at the end because they end up, if I remember right, because I haven't seen it since a long time ago, they set up the exact replica of her house in a warehouse.
Okay.
And put cameras up and then use her for bait. And then when like this evil entity comes to take advantage of her, they hit it with like
like the entity followed her to this fake house of hers.
yeah, because I think the story is that she moved and then it happened again. And then eventually it just like faded away as like the real story. But in the movie, it followed her, and then they put her in this fake house, and then they blasted it with like liquid nitrogen.
Oh, wow.
And then froze it and like caught it in this big form.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the movie, it's like based on a true story, and that they were taking this thing around and like showing it at like expos and stuff.
Whoa.
Yeah,
How weird.
yeah,
What a goofy ending to a movie.
it is pretty goofy. I tried to look it up. I think it might
It's
be
very
on...
Bonnie and Clyde.
Really?
Yeah, didn't they when they got caught, they took the car around to like fairs and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's
and
like
you could pay money to walk in the trailer and see it and shit.
with all the blood and bullet holes.
Mm-hmm.
That is very Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, the only thing I have left is this Amanda large tag.
Oh yeah.
You want to do something else before that, or
No, that's all right.
you want to hit that one?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, so Amanda large tag. So I watched a interview with her, and I swear she said Amanda Sparrow large tag.
Maybe.
But when I looked it up, some interviews like typed out just to make sure I had her name right, it just said large tag. But
Yeah.
that'll come back around here in a minute.
Yeah, I've seen that. I think it was just Tag or Teague.
Teague, yeah.
Yeah.
So when Amanda, before what we're about to happen happened, she started on a spiritual journey after her son had died. And I don't know how young he was, but it seemed pretty young. And this was kind of to help her cope and figure out, what's out there, how is my son now, trying to figure out
Right.
that. So she ended up taking classes and learning to become a witch and a spiritual teacher. And she had done that for a little while.
Okay. Training herself how to become more open to the spirits.
It seemed like she had done some medium work for a while. When at her house one day, she felt an unfamiliar energy in her bedroom. And she felt like this energy wanted to connect with her. After communicating with the spirit, she found out his name was Jack Tag, a 300-year-old Haitian pirate. And they communicated back and forth via spiritual energy for a while, it seemed.
Yeah.
It almost seemed like maybe she had used other people as well to communicate with him.
Like other mediums.
Yeah. And so they actually slowly fell in love.
As you do.
As you do. You need to know somebody.
Yeah.
And you slowly get to love them. And so Amanda Tag eventually falls in love with this 300-year-old pirate Jack. And shortly after Christmas of 2003, they began a relationship. And now boyfriend, yes. And now you'll hear that a lot of people who have sex with ghosts, they just kind of, either the ghost has their way with them, or it comes out of nowhere, they have sex with the ghost, and then maybe a different ghost later, or the same, who knows, it's a little free-spirited.
Yeah.
Not to no punnies, but Amanda is a high-class woman.
Oh, okay.
And she needs to be in a committed relationship before she would be willing to have
relations.
To be physical with Captain Jack. And so they sought to conduct a spiritual wedding.
Yes.
And in any wedding, as an ordained minister of the Universal Life Church, myself, Matt Nicky,
yes.
You need to, when you marry people, you have to make sure you have strict consent from both parties.
Right. You can't just like duct tape their mouth and be like, let's get married.
Yeah. So Amanda had to find a medium that would act as the voice of Jack. And I don't know how long that took, if, maybe some people couldn't feel his presence or what.
Right.
And that was the biggest hurdle. They ended up finding someone to perform the ceremony. And it wasn't a captain, because captains can marry you.
Yeah.
But she got some sort of ordained person. I didn't figure out who that was, like what kind of rank they had, or what church or anything it was from.
Right.
But I guess it was around 2003, and I started marrying people around 2012.
Yeah.
So it's probably pretty easy to get a marriage license, an ordainmentship, in 2003.
Well, even back then, the internet,
Yeah.
and even prior to that, I think you could mail order that stuff.
Yeah, I bet. Mail order, I forgot, was a huge thing.
Yeah.
Do you ever do any mail order stuff? I never did anything.
No, there was a time when like Sally Struthers was like selling these like, and get your GED online, but it'd also be like HVAC and technical writing, and there was a whole list of things that you could send away for and like get like a certificate or a degree in.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I bet that really helped a lot of people out.
Probably, or at least gave them a piece of paper that got their foot in the door.
Yeah, for sure. So they ended up taking the medium and this ordained person out to international waters.
Yes, because she's from England.
Yes.
And they are one place that does not allow that posthumous marriage.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, la-ti-da, England.
Exactly. Can't marry dead people there.
Yeah. Also, you can't have our taxes.
Yeah.
England.
Right. Fuck your tea.
So, when asked if Jack had much to do with the wedding, Amanda revealed that she was actually a pretty big bridezilla
Oh,
But the one thing Jack wouldn't budge on was the cake. What kind of cake do you think they had, Dave?
angel food.
They had rum flavored cake
Oh,
because he's a pirate.
that'd be my next guest.
So during the wedding, Amanda and Jack each had matching rings. Amanda, I would assume, placed her own on her own finger.
Yeah.
And then placed his ring on a candle, which represented Jack. Also, I saw a video that somebody was holding a picture of Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh, really? While she was doing it?
Yes.
I did see a picture where she had the skull and crossbones flag like behind them while they were getting married.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And so another thing about the wedding, at some point, I guess maybe somebody got seasick and puked on her dress.
Oh no.
And this was before she had taken her wedding photos. She ended up getting her pictures taken, and she was able to hold off crying and smearing her makeup because of it, and the dress looked fine and stuff like that. I saw a couple of pictures, but
All right.
yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear about what happened after the wedding?
Yes, I did. You want to take that one?
Do you have? No, go ahead.
Oh, me still.
Yes,
Okay.
you still. I got two other stories I can
Oh
tell.
boy, Dave.
It's gonna be a long one.
So a few months after being married, Amanda's health started spiraling downhill.
Yeah, they said, or she said, she got painful abscesses.
Abscesses. Yeah.
Yeah, developed sepsis
Yep.
and was told she might need a colostomy bag.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And what she was explaining was when spirits stay around, they need an energy source.
Right.
And so he was slowly just draining her of energy.
I also read somewhere that she thought it was because they started having relations. And so while they were doing it, he was kind of like sucking her energy.
Yeah. Or maybe like ghost
STDs.
Yeah, ghost STDs. So Amanda thought that maybe he never really accepted his own death and was just trying to stay around. When she realized Jack was hurting her, she pursued an exorcism.
Yeah, like he was an energy vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
shortly after she got the exorcism, she said that her health is not 100%, but it greatly improved.
yeah, it got better right away. So, and that one, yeah, see, she ghosted him.
Yeah.
There's a lady along the same lines called Amethyst Realm.
Okay. I did hear about this one. I didn't take the notes on it.
Yeah, she was a medium, and she would go around and do seances and stuff like that. And her story actually influenced the Claypool Lennon Delirium to write a song called Amethyst Realm.
Oh, really?
And it's all about this lady and her ghost lover. But she was in Australia at the time and met Ray, who was, I guess also, she said a spiritualist said that he was a pirate or a sailor, not necessarily a pirate. But she was walking around in the bush in Australia and felt this like presence. And she said it was really strong and like kind. And she was sad because she had to go back to England. But when she was on the plane, she felt the presence again and got super excited because it meant like he was coming with her. And she got so excited that they had to go into the bathroom and join the Mile High Club. Her and her ghost lover. And yeah, she felt extremely happy and felt like she found her soulmate so much that she went on, I think it's called The Morning, and it's like a UK morning show, and told them all about it. And I think a couple like Octobers they would have her come talk about her ghost relationship.
Now, I saw a couple. I think there were a lot of them were on The Morning, but I think that Tag Girl was on The Morning.
Oh,
But she wasn't the gal. I had heard about a gal who met a ghost and was having relations with him in the spare bedroom.
Yeah.
And the husband came home a day early.
Oh no.
And saw the silhouette of a man in the bedroom.
Yeah.
And when he went inside, he couldn't find anybody. But he knew what he saw, and then their relationship became over.
She cheated on her husband with a ghost.
Yes.
I did not see that one.
Okay.
So they pretty much lived together, and they would go on like dates and stuff, and like have candlelit dinners. And he never talked to her before, but they were in this place called Wookiee Hole,
Ooh.
which is like some caves in England. And she was part of a group, and I guess they communicated through emotions and energy.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of told her to stay back. And then she heard his voice, and she didn't say what he said, but he proposed to her.
Okay.
And she was like, there was no getting down on one knee, obviously. And she said, I could actually hear his voice, and it was beautiful, deep, sexy, and real. And they wanted to get a hand fasting.
Somebody was just talking about that to me because somebody was talking about getting married at work, and they were like, Matt, do you marry people? Yeah. Do you do hand fastings? And I'm like, I'll fucking marry you however you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what that is? Did you?
Yeah, it's can be considered like an unofficial marriage, or
Okay.
well, because it's quote unquote pagan.
Oh, okay.
But it's also can be a temporary marriage.
Okay.
Like, say you were somewhere and wanted to get married, but you didn't have the rings or your family, you can temporarily marry like that.
Okay.
But it's pretty much like saying like a marriage, but you like shake hands
Okay.
because you like.
It's like a business agreement.
Yeah, well, you vow to the other person that you're my one and only, and then you shake hands, or sometimes they'll bind the hands. I kind of thought of it like that unbreakable vow, like Harry Potter, where they like held hands, and then the other witch like bound them.
I didn't see that one.
That was the Half-Blood Prince.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, but you've seen all the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, duh.
All right, makes sense.
I've been wanting to see the Harry Potters, but I just haven't committed.
Yeah. But she also talked about wanting to have a baby.
Okay, I heard about that from her as well.
Yeah, and she didn't know if it would just be a spiritual baby or actually be a physical baby, but it seemed like he was on board with it. But then they took a vacation in October 2020
Oh no.
to Thailand.
Did he trip and hurt his crotch and now he's shooting blanks? Did that happen? Oh, okay.
The
Thank God.
beginning of the trip, it was all lovey-dovey, but then she feels like he fell into a wrong crowd because he started disappearing and was being kind of an ass. And when they came home, he would like he would ghost her, disappear, and like not come around, and then come back, but then bring other spirits with him. And the other spirits would hang around for a week or two, kind of like bringing your old drinking buddies back home to sleep on the couch. And she said like things started getting thrown around and like bad smells. And this one presence would just like follow her and not leave her alone.
Ugh.
And she gave him a couple of chances to clean himself up, but he never did. So then she broke it off and put black tourmaline all around, which
Yeah.
I guess keeps spirits out.
Yeah, it's like only good spirits.
And she did a sage cleaning and said some incantations, and pretty much just locked him out of the house, changed
Yeah.
the locks on him.
Change the spectral locks.
Yeah, and then she said she's happy being single and free, but is open to meeting someone human or spirit.
That's funny that she had to like cleanse the house to get rid of him.
Yeah. I can do a real quick one. There's a lady at the end here.
Yeah, do it.
Her name's Brocade, Brocade. Brocade. And she's a singer.
Okay.
And if you want to look her up, The Last Supper,
Okay.
that one's pretty good. And she's got one called Twisted, which is all right, but it's definitely like B kind of stuff. Like she's like the kind of person that would open for like White Zombie or Marilyn Manson or Nine Inch Nails.
Brocade.
Yeah. But one night during a lightning storm, well, during the day, she had a big fight with one of her friends. And at night, there was a lightning storm and she couldn't get to sleep. And she was like, you know, being all neurotic in her head.
Okay.
And this energy came to her.
Yeah.
And like shot through her body and made her like sit bolt upright. And like she just started like pouring tears. And she tried to turn the light on and something smacked her hand. But then she could turn the light on and she saw a silhouette real quick. And then as it disappeared, it was like, I love you. Yeah.
How sweet.
Yeah. And then she started to like feel the presence around. And when she would take a shower, it would do
1d8 of damage.
One in a shower?
I don't know.
No, it would do little hearts in the steam.
Oh.
Yeah. And so then it started coming around and she got comfortable with it. And then they started being, you know, boyfriend and girlfriend. And he got jealous. He was a jealous guy because she was a singer, so she would like dress up to go do gigs or like go out with her friends. And if he didn't like an outfit, he would hide it.
Oh.
Or he would throw shit.
Oh,
and,
very
like,
controlling.
Yeah, and she was a little afraid for a little bit that he would get too controlling and maybe kill her.
Yeah.
So that way she could be a spirit too.
Oh.
So they could be together forever in the spirit world.
Forever.
Yeah. And she went on the morning and she went on into some papers and stuff and talked about her relationship.
Yeah.
And then after that, he ghosted her.
Damn.
And like stopped coming around. And then when he would come around, it'd be like super cold. And like in the summertime, she'd have to like run her heat. And she's like, I know you're mad. I'm sorry I went public with our relationship. And like on Halloween, she like made him a nice dinner and wrote him a song that she played for him and like won him back.
Oh.
Yeah. And shortly after that, she woke up and found a diamond ring on her pillow.
Oh my gosh.
And she kind of didn't know what it was. And went and took a shower and a question mark came up in the steam. But she was still like, what? And when she went back in the bedroom, the ring was gone. But the next day, the ring was back. And she was like, oh, like she finally caught on.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, we can get married. As of February of 2022, they've been arguing over the dates of when to do it because she wants a summer wedding, but he says it's too hot. Like he doesn't like the heat.
Oh.
And she said she was going to make like a Ouija board type setup with a bunch of dates so that they could sense out which date.
Hey, you got to make relationships work. It's all about communication.
Right, exactly. They've been having trouble finding a venue because most churches see their relationship as blasphemous.
Yeah.
So they're working on that. And
Blue Ribbon Lounge is for rent.
should reach out to them.
It wouldn't be the first wedding in the basement.
What about a first ghost wedding?
First ghost wedding, I'm not sure because I'm not the only owner. It could have been done before I bought
Previous
this place. Yeah.
ghost weddings. But this, her fiance's name is Eduardo. Yes. And his best man is stuck in hell.
Oh, no.
Yeah, for running an opium den. But to make up...
Deserved it.
I guess. I mean, yeah. But to kind of balance that, they invited Marilyn Monroe.
Okay.
Elvis.
Nice.
Johnny Cash.
Oh, a real fucking who's who of ghosts over here.
Shakespeare and King Henry VIII. And to, since his best man's in hell. And she's a little miffed because miffed.
Miffed.
You don't know that word?
Is that upset?
Yes.
Okay.
Because she has to pay for everything.
Oh, God. I bet his family's not even going to help out either.
Right. Well, they were saying that's why they invited these famous people because all his family's dead. So, and but
But
she's
wouldn't they be ghosts too?
right, so they should be on the list.
Yeah.
Don't just invite famous people. But she also said that she's in high spirits. So maybe if there's an update, we can bring it up like in a later
Yeah.
episode.
2022.
Yeah. And I guess at the end, what I was going to say is there was a professor of psychology at Goldsmiths College,
Okay.
Christopher French. And he says like the people that have these experiences aren't necessarily like mental. They're not schizophrenic. But more likely they've been suffering from stress or lack of sleep. Or it's sleep paralysis.
Sleep paralysis is something that I had heard a lot of too.
Yeah, because I guess
Like sleep paralysis mixed with a wet dream or something.
yeah, because 20 to 40% of people have this happen, which kind of goes back to the whole the different cultures and the different names for these like demons. Because even now they're called like black figures or black shadows that people see at night.
Oh, like dark
Shadow people.
shadow people. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's also they think related. But instead of just standing at the foot of your bed and freaking you out, you feel like you're having sex.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Less of a visual, more of a physical thing, it
Yeah.
seems.
but
You don't believe in ghosts, so.
who doesn't believe in ghosts?
I thought you didn't believe in ghosts. Thought you weren't a big ghost guy.
I mean, I would have to see it to believe it.
So have you seen it?
No.
So you don't believe it.
Right.
I'm a big ghost guy. I think ghosts, and you know what? I believe there is something that is in our world that we can't see that affects us. And the closest thing we got to that is a word is ghost.
Yeah, because I do feel that places have energies.
Yeah. I think it's maybe some sort of crossing over of dimensions or something.
Maybe. Because there are places that you feel super calm at, and then places that you go and you'll feel uneasy, and it doesn't necessarily have to be because of the people there, but just the place itself. You're like, nah, I'm not going to hang around in this abandoned warehouse for too long.
Yeah. I thought it was weird all the celebrities that had admitted to it.
Yeah. I mean, some of them, if you're writing a song about ghost sex or you're in a movie about ghosts, but to be filming Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Unless, like, Bill Cosby was visiting the set and she just,
Oh no.
I'm groggy. I need to go take a nap. And then she wakes up like, ooh, I think I had ghost sex.
Damn, Cosby. Yeah, that was a good episode.
Yeah.
Another one in the bank.
Another one in the bank. We need like a,
Oh, we'll get that.
get that.
I'll get that because I'm working on that mixer
Yeah.
to be able to do live sounds. I want to do little drop things.
Yeah. Or like a cash register. Ching.
Yeah. Ka-ching. Well, probably not the ka-ching. We
No.
don't make a lot of money off of this.
Right.
Not yet.
No, but I just meant like another one in the bank.
Yeah.
Ching.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's all for me. Make sure you guys check out the Facebook group if you haven't already. And
Yeah, we're always posting fun things over there, like Taiwanese mermaids.
yeah, that was a good one, I thought.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It looked very elaborate.
Yeah, it looked. I didn't even see the mermaid part. I was just like, "This is a big fish," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I see
Half
what
person.
it is. Half person."
Did you see the Charles Manson video I posted?
Yeah,
Who Am I? I've always liked watching. I'll watch that like a couple times a year.
yeah, that's the one where he's extra hamming it up
Yeah.
because he even does all like the facial expressions and
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, we like to toss out stuff that relates to an episode or we just think is interesting.
And try to get some conversations going. Maybe.
Yeah. And if you like that kind of stuff, feel free to drop it off.
Yes.
Park it there in the Blue Ribbon Lounge podcast.
Right. Or if you want to shoot us an email, it's Blue Ribbon Lounge Moline at gmail.com.
Excellent. And then blueribbonlounge.com will get you a lot of stuff. You can check out the podcast on there. Check out Abernathy's through the merch page. And
even as a contact us if you forgot what the email was, even though there's only one couple words different.
yeah. New stickers dropping soon.
Yes.
That'll be fun.
Look for those.
I'm excited for those. And I hope you guys enjoyed the episode and be good to yourselves.
Yes, and remember, only you can prevent forest fires.